short memory, doesn't he? Okay, here we go. Is that totally surprising it doesn't work? The fireplace had a generous amount of wood in it, and I was relieved to know that it would be warm in case it got cold. I'm certainly not good at chopping trees. Interesting. Piano. Too bad I can't get near it. Ooh, I like this room. It's cool. Beautiful. No, smoking can kill you, especially when the cigars are decades old. Don't they, age the cigars anyway? I don't know, I heard that somewhere. Maybe I'm wrong. So we got 2 fireplaces in this place. Aha! Maybe this would be interesting. This house is amazing, far beyond my wildest dreams. Jerry's efforts have truly exceeded my expectations. I'd better get acquainted right away. Jerry says the electrician should be on his way to solve the lights problem. I feel relieved. It seems the house is out of power. You can't have everything, I guess. Hopefully it's just a minor glitch. But I should tell Jerry. Well, shouldn't you have... This guy worries me. And seriously, what's with all this strange foreign currency? Why wouldn't he be... Okay, one locked. Yeah, of course. Too easy. February 6th. The construction of the railway bridge is about to complete. And went quite smoothly. It took longer than I expected, yet I wish it would have lasted longer. I will be very sad to leave South Africa. I've been so attached to it, its culture, its arts, over the past few months, that I can't help feeling as if it was already a part of me. I will surely return someday, soon hopefully, although I'm afraid that there's a great deal of work to be taken care of back in the old Britain. Fortunately, I made good friends here who were ecstatic about my new appreciation of their country. They offered me some wonderful objects as a token of gratitude, which I've already created and got ready to ship, along with many trinkets I bought myself. It looks like I'm about to start a very substantial collection. It's a good thing Catherine agreed to move into our new home, although I fear several renovations will have to be made. Even more if I'm intending to start a serious new hobby. It seems I'll have to get back to work. John Patterson has just told me about some natives are causing trouble. A very unfortunate thing, although I'm secretly rejoicing. Okay, why? February 12th. The natives won't leave. It's not like they're causing trouble, so much as they're unsettling our workers. The only complaint so far has been a distraction. They just stand still between the trees staring at us without blinking an eye. I've watched them for a few minutes, and they truly seem like some tenebrous statues. At first, it was just annoying, but lately it has become a downright creepy. They seem to be stalking us. So, it's not like they're hindering the construction, but there is a general uneasy feeling as if they were about to jump at us at any moment. I think I'll hire some protection as a measure of precaution. Oof. Okay. Yeah, now this house has got some problems. February 15th. Fascinating. I have been looking into the natives. They live in a nearby village and are a very small group, yet they seem to manage quite well. I had thought of them as quite an uncivilized tribe, but their movements are calculated. One can perceive a sense of careful organization in their tasks. Oddly enough, they seem to be very brutish, and their aspect looks awful, although I couldn't take a good look at their facial features as I followed one of them completely on my own, and it could have been dangerous getting any closer. Also, the village is poor and very rough, but some of the shacks leapt out as inviting or special. It made me very curious. I'll try to come closer tomorrow. What is this guy, crazy? February 16th. My second expedition to the village of the natives has been failed by an unexpected problem at the bridge. I'm afraid it was due to a slight miscalculation on my part. An indication that I should be focusing more on the tasks at hand and put my sudden love for all African things aside for a moment. It was my fault, and I accept it. February 20th. They're at it again! Lurking beyond the forest, it's amazing how they have changed our perception of the surroundings. At first, we were delighted by the quiet nature of the place. Now, we fear what horrors might be concealed in that dark and foreboding cloak of trees. The tops loom above us, overshadowing the bridge, and strange noises haunt our meals. Even the river telling ungodly secrets. We could be, of course, a bit more sensitive toward distractions, but I can't help feeling the area has in fact become more sinister. And yet, I'm still looking forward to satisfying my curiosity about the tribe. Okay, this guy has got an obsession about some tribe. February 24th. At last, I found something more about the neighboring tribe. This is incredible. I just can't withhold my excitement. Some elders at the local town happen to know about them, but only through stories they heard. The most surprising thing is that the tribe was assumed to be extinct long ago, but according to my vague descriptions, the elders think that they could be dealing with a legend here. Everything they have ever learned of them was during their childhood, when the tribe was stalking the town, much in the same way they had been stalking us. People used to call them the... what? I can't even make that out. Oh, well, I'll just call them the Drom. I have no idea what that says, but I'll assume it says Drom. Easiest to pronounce, so why not? As such was the sound of screams heard echoing late in the night. They come out into the streets and see an evil glitter atop of a hill in this distance. Some would say it was fire, others the cursed spirit of an ancient god. Whatever it was, they say the bright light amid those fantastic screams was bone-chilling. Oh, maybe it's macabre scene would suddenly stop just as it had begun out of nowhere, never to be seen again in the days to come. Intervals between those horrible nights became longer and longer until they soon faded into oblivion. The tribe apparently had retreated back into obscurity until now. They were later known as the Dalamar, a rather more scientific name, although none of the people I spoke with could possibly remember its origin. I find it extremely surprising that nobody has ever heard about this tribe with the exception of a few townspeople. They must be incredibly rare, and judging by the stories passed on from generations in this town, very old. How long does this go on? February 27th. I will confess that I've become nearly obsessed with this strange tribe. I see them as the most prized goal of my appreciation towards all South African things. A dangerous yet irresistible reward. I feel as if they were my discovery. I simply have to study them before leaving. I fear I won't have the chance to ever again. It has become an important goal of mine, even more important than finishing the bridge. March 4th. Finally, I have managed to see them! My God! What a disturbing spectacle! When we arrived, they were moving around the village very slowly without speaking or communicating with each other, each minding his or her own business, completely alien to the rest of the world. They were a filthy-looking, coarse, and downright disgusting. I couldn't see any weapons, but they could have been stored somewhere. It was all very strange. Behavior in a tribe, they must be quite unique. Okay. Then, as if they had suddenly all become passed by some wild spirit, they began shaking spontaneously and screaming like mad. Some of them dropped to their knees and lifted their heads to the sky, eyes blank and moaning in an undescribable way. 2 of them walked away, still in that monstrous monotonous and slow manner, in a great contrast to the rest of the scene, into a shack. A next minute they brought out into the open an odd-looking mask. Its shapes, colors, and overall looks, while unsettling, were mesmerizing, and I felt instantly hypnotized by it. It rendered my modest collection of African curiosities into dull and uninteresting items. The mask was very ominous, and the whole tribe seemed to greatly revere it. Soon they began to gather around it and move in circles, fluttering and chanting a guttural psalm. Judging by their emotions and aspects of the whole ritual, it must have been some kind of war ritual. I'm not sure how to explain what happened next, as I feel my pulse is already throbbing. Words fail me to recount the most disturbing thing I've ever witnessed. One of the male villagers walked into the middle near the mask by his own will. It was almost automatic act. All of a sudden, the remaining members became silent. I can't tell for how long it lasted, but I was afraid to breathe. I think Dalby and others were also scared. They wouldn't even blink. I remember being soaked, wet, and expectant. The silence was so unnatural. Then a few members separated from the people circling the mask and jumped on the single villager, beating him to death. To be completely faithful to the event, the small crowd tore him apart. They grabbed his legs in twos and threes and twisted them in a manner I dare not describe. His face was disfigured with their bare fingernails and teeth, and torso soon disappeared under the frenzied tangle of hands. In a matter of a few minutes, the villager was turned into a red sack of bones. Not one of the attackers had the compassion to snap his neck during the sickening process. All very methodical, as if it was just another mundane task. The most horrifying, terrifying aspect, though, was that the victim didn't even cringe. The silence was so deep I could hear his flesh ripping. I could expect any living creature to scream. Its guts in such a condition. I can't tell whether he was drugged or half asleep, but I did recognize him dancing like everybody else before walking into the middle of the circle. It was the most outrageous and sadistic sacrifice I've ever heard of. I don't think I'll ever forget what I saw. My intentions of approaching further, even if they didn't have any weapons at hand, vanished. Those creatures, I did not call them human beings, could have killed my whole company in a blink of an eye with their rage. They seemed to be completely out of themselves and willing to destroy anything intruding into their path. While the images of the sacrifice still haunt my thought, I still can't seem to forget that mask. It was so deceptive, simple and yet perfect in its design. I haven't seen anything like it. I surely would love to take a better look. I feel that Dalamar, dangerous as they are, could be the most important ethnical finding in decades. What I've seen today is crying for some further investigation. I just can't leave them like that. I would never forgive myself. And the mask. That mask. Okay, that is really worrisome. I was ecstatic after reading the journal. The material was incredible. Hello? This guy is crazy. You're in a little house here on the middle of who knows where. You find a book in a house mansion that's just completely sadistic, and you're ecstatic? Hello? This guy must be losing his sanity already. I would never say that after reading that. Okay. Well, I'm going to split the part here since I've read this whole thing.